Whether you're stuck in iron, bronze, silver, gold, or even plat, you might be in elo hell. From toxic teammates to throwers, smurfs, and people insta-locking DPS, you have a lot to overcome if you want to make it to the highest elos of play, where I think Marvel Rivals is at its peak once hero bans kick in. Not to mention you get a free skin at the end of the season for hitting gold, so you're going to want to lock in and get better. But I am going to have to give you some hard truths in this video, but it's going to make you better and help you climb. So let's have a heart-to-heart and break it all down. But we have a ton of guides planned, including a Thor guide and tons of guides for Season 1 that is only a couple weeks away, so make sure you smash that like and subscribe so you can get ahead on the competition, and let's jump into the video. Now, the hard truth that you do not want to hear, but I have to tell you it, and it's that no one holds you back from climbing in Marvel Rivals. The reality of it is, if you are not getting out of a rank, you are just not good enough to climb out of that rank. And I know what you're saying. You're going to say, I always have insta-locking DPS. I always have these throwers in my games. I always have all these things that I can't control. And I understand. And you are probably right that these are things that happen. They happen to everyone, whether you're an Eternity player or a semi-pro, or whether you're just starting the game for the first time. You are going to get thrown into lobbies that no matter what you do, you cannot win that game. And you might be saying, Mills, if that's true, then you're contradicting yourself. I can't climb because this is happening to me every single game, and that's where we disagree. It is not happening to you every single game, because when you queue up in a random lobby, sometimes you're going to have wins that are free wins because the opponents are trolling, and sometimes you're going to have really insta losses because your teammates aren't even playing the game. But a giant percentage of the time, the only thing that matters is you, because you're the constant. You're the one person that is in every single one of your lobbies no matter what, and you're the only one that you can control. Basically, every single time you queue into a lobby with 11 other random people, you need to be the best person in that lobby. Basically, whatever team has you on it has a higher chance of victory, and if you are that consistently, you will climb with enough games. It doesn't matter the randomness, it doesn't matter the variance, it doesn't matter who throws, who doesn't throw, because you will be the difference maker, and with enough games, you will be better than the people around you. You'll climb just like everyone else has, and you will get out of elo hell, I promise. I understand that these games can be super frustrating, and I understand that it's not the greatest when you're only one person in a team of 6 people. You can only do too much. I understand all these things, but that doesn't prevent you from climbing and carrying. In fact, there are ways to still climb and carry in that chaotic randomness that is elo hell, and we're going to go over some of those strategies and some of those tips in this video. Now, I think the biggest thing that we need to talk about first is the random compositions, where you're getting all DPS, you're getting no tanks, you're getting no supports. You can't play that perfect composition. What do? How do you climb when no one wants to play the freaking game? I understand this is a frustrating one, but here's my first tip, and it's one that is a bit controversial, but I have to say it. Do not compromise easily. One of the biggest things I see in my chats, the biggest things I see when people see me on Twitch, the biggest thing that is messaged to me is, I always have to fill. How am I supposed to carry when I'm always filling support or filling tank? Now, the first thing is, you could absolutely carry on both tank and support. In fact, I think that you can carry harder on a lot of tanks and supports than you can DPS. But I think the bigger problem here is that you feel like you have to do something even when that thing is something that you absolutely don't want to do, and you don't think that you can have high impact on the thing that you are being quote-unquote forced to do. This is a really bad cycle where you're constantly filling because you really want that dub, but then you can simultaneously not carry on the character that you're filling to, so you're getting bitter about filling, and then you're getting bitter about not being able to carry, and then you're just bitter and not having fun. And I'm not telling you to never fill, but what I am saying is that you should fill only when you absolutely have to. Like, lock the character you want to play at the start of the lobby. Play a fight as that character. Walk at a spot. See what people will do. See how people will fill around you. And do not swap if your composition is not perfect. You don't need 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 supports. What you need is something that is reasonable. Maybe even just 2 supports, 1 tank. Maybe even 1 support, 1 tank. Maybe some random combination. It doesn't really matter if the composition is not perfect, because you need to be able to carry under suboptimal conditions. If you can't carry in low elo under suboptimal conditions, you will never be able to carry in high elo. So this means not a perfect composition. And I would encourage you to try to play what you want to play, what you're good at, and what you can carry on before you compromise. Please do not compromise so easily, because you'll be stuck in that loop forever, and you're not going to have a great experience with Marvel Rivals, and you're also not going to improve. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't fill, but I would say only fill when you absolutely have to, because in those situations, you try to play your main, you locked it, you played a fight, nothing is happening, no team is going anywhere, then you're like, okay, I'll swap. I'll play whatever we need for this game only, and I'm going to play a character that maybe I'm going to learn how to play well. I'm not just going to play this character and feel like I have to play this character. I'm going to flex to Mantis, I'm going to flex to Magneto, and feel good about playing these characters, and feel happy to play these characters, and I'm going to actually try to get better at playing these characters, because if you get into that negative mindset, you're really going to be stuck, and that mindset is what traps you in Elo Hell over anything else. Now, the thing that is the most important factor here is you need to be focusing on your own play. Like, I know that it's really easy to harp on other people's play. I do it myself in my games. I think everyone does it. It's human nature because we're always looking at other people. We're never looking inward. But if you can try to evaluate your own play, focus on being better, focus on improving, focus on making better decisions, better ultimates, less deaths. These are the things that are so vital to becoming better and better at Marvel Rivals. And if you do these things consistently and improve consistently, you will reach a point in skill where the suboptimal conditions that you're facing game to game just don't matter, because you're doing so much, it carries the weight of the suboptimal conditions. This is a super important concept, but it's one of the reasons why players like that are Eternity level or Grandmaster level can go play in low elo and win freaking all their games. It's because they bring so much to the table, even under that suboptimal conditions, that it just doesn't matter anymore. Now, another thing that I'm always told is that I can't win without X, Y, and Z. This person is not healing me enough, so I can't possibly tank. This person is not tanking well. They're not creating enough space for me. I can't push in. This DPS isn't winning their duels. They're not killing a whole bunch of things. There's not enough damage. I can't win. Like, all these things, all these excuses, someone else is doing this thing or not doing this thing, I can't win, right? And I want to make this clear. Being a good player is not winning when you have what you want or need in a perfect situation. It's about how well you do when you don't have what you want or what you need. It's not about winning when you have that perfect tank and that perfect support pocketing you and creating space. It's about finding ways to do things even when you don't have great teammates, when you have teammates that are not doing their job, when you have teammates that are messing up. That's what being a good player is about. It's about still succeeding in spite of those things, because we're not playing in a scrim environment. We're not playing in a tournament. We're not playing with 5 other players that are playing their perfect character and have perfect comms and everyone understands exactly what they're supposed to do. We're not doing that. You can't be a needy player that only accomplishes a lot when you have the perfect resources, because that will never work in ranked. You're always going to be lacking in something, and you still need to find ways to win fights, get value, make plays, and not feed, even when you have players that play in random ways and not in the orthodox ways, especially in low elo where players kind of just do whatever they want to do. You have to look to play within the confines of what you were given, and don't play based on the teammates that you wish you had. Like, you could cry, I wish I had this teammate, all the way to the loss screen, but that's not going to make you a better player. It's not going to make you climb, and it's literally pointless thinking, because you're going to just have random teammates all the time. You can't control them. Once again, you're the only constant. You're the only one that is the difference maker, and you're the only one that cares about your rank. And this is the last point I want to make that's so important. Stop relating your rank to your ego. At the end of the day, it's just a freaking rank. Like, it's just a rank. No one cares. I mean, I care, right? I actually really want you to get better and improve. But in general, like, the randoms that you're playing with don't care. People in your life probably don't care. Your rank does not define you. So don't make your self-worth tied to your rank. At the end of the day, man, it's just a freaking rank. Your play in one match also doesn't make you a good or bad player. You could have a bad match and still be a great player, and it doesn't define you. That being said, I still think it's worth it to get better in games, because focusing on the art of self-betterment is great, because it's not easy. It's satisfying to get better. It's satisfying to improve at something, especially when it's freaking hard. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Diamond Plus lobbies is where Marvel Rivals begins to be fun. Like, in banned lobbies, that's where Rivals is at its most fun by far. are. So yeah, I want you to be in those lobbies. They're the most freaking fun. But really, at the end of the day, what this all is about is taking personal responsibility for your wins and losses, doing what you can to try to improve and be a better player from game to game, and not allowing your ego and your self-worth change and warp the way that you enjoy the game of Rivals, and ultimately make you a player that is stagnant, never improves, and never climbs and gets better. But I really hope that this was eye-opening for you, and if you disagree or have an opinion about this video, let me know in the comments down below and I'll have a conversation with you. But I really hope that you learned a thing or two, and I wish you the best of luck in your games. Have a great 2025. Thank y'all for coming by, and I'll see you later.